What's up, guys? Steve here with a late evening breaking news update regarding the stimulus package and the stimulus check, as we have received word that Congress has come to an agreement. They're going to be extending out for an additional 2 more days a CR stopgap funding bill. They're going to be taking it out until Sunday to work on the government spending bill and also the stimulus package that they're going to be passing alongside it. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, as articles are coming out here by the minute, giving us this breaking news, letting us know that they're going to be continuing this on. And also, we're hearing that they have agreement on the stimulus package provisions, but there are specific details that they're still trying to work out, and some of them are going to be shocking to you. Things that they're talking about changing in the stimulus checks and potentially also in unemployment. I'm going to be covering them in these articles here very shortly. So we're going to dive in just a second, but before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, I would appreciate it. It would just take a second. Be sure to smash the like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out my channel. Like button, dropping comments, and sharing these videos out to anybody who you think might need to see them. It helps out my channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you're not already a part of the viewing community, why not? Everybody's doing it. Be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can be notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. But now let's dive into the latest regarding Congress and this extension, the stimulus package, and provisions right now. All right, so first up, let's take a look at this article that just came out 41 minutes ago that reads, Senate averts government shutdown. And it says, Congress has now averted a government shutdown by passing a stopgap bill. The Senate has passed a 2-day continuing resolution to keep the government funded as pandemic relief negotiations continue. The resolution passed by voice vote. The 2-day continuing resolution was passed by the House earlier Friday evening. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Friday in a floor speech that, as of right now, we have not yet reached a final agreement, regretfully. I believe all sides feel we're making good progress on the major relief bill. But alas, we are not there yet. Given that our urgent task is to pass a stopgap government funding measure, there's no reason why the federal government funding should lapse while we hammer out our remaining differences, he said. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, who has been pushing $1,200 stimulus checks along with GOP Senator Josh Hawley, spoke on the floor saying, I will object to any attempt by the Senate to pass an omnibus appropriations bill and leave town before passing a pandemic relief bill with substantial direct payments going to working people. But Sanders said, let us get the package passed. Let's make certain that we have direct payments to working families, and with that, I will withdraw my objection. So as we just read, it turns out that it was passed in the House, then it went to the Senate, where it passed with unanimous approval. However, we were worried that Senator Bernie Sanders or Josh Hawley might stop it and shut the government down. So Bernie Sanders actually did step up, and he had an objection, gave a speech letting all of the Senate know that he wants them to include a second round of stimulus checks that are $1,200, not $600, and he wants them to pass direct relief payments to American citizens to help them out at this time, and he would remove his objection. So he stood up. Everybody probably started sweating a little bit, but then he removed his objection and he allowed it to continue on. So they're going to be going through the weekend, but he's going to be pushing to get $1,200 stimulus checks in there still. All right, so let's take a look at this next article that reads, Congress passed a short-term funding bill, giving itself 2 more days to negotiate stimulus. And it says, what's still being worked on? We've taken out the 2 greatest points of contention, the state and local government funding and also the liability protection. However, the provisions that are currently in the bill, now they're working out all the details, and we are having some disagreements. Now, the article says, although the most contested provisions have been stripped from the bill, there are still some issues that lawmakers are debating. And it says, as the Washington Post reports, some of the ongoing negotiations center on the number of weeks of expanded unemployment insurance the bill would cover. Now, we mentioned this in previous videos that initially they proposed 16 weeks, but it's getting cut down significantly. And it reads, while a prior bipartisan draft had provided an additional $300 in unemployment for 16 weeks, the amount of coverage in a final compromise bill could be much shorter. And we've heard that it went from 16 weeks, which was 4 months, down to 12 or 13 weeks, 3 months, and now we're hearing as low as 10 weeks. They're continuing to cut this down, and they're saying in an effort possibly to increase the amount for stimulus checks. Speaking of stimulus checks, the article says there's also an ongoing disagreement over the amount that would be included in another round of stimulus checks, with Senator Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley pushing for $1,200 payments, while the leadership plan initially offered $600 options. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin on Friday opposed $1,200 payments twice and cited concerns about gains to the deficit, an issue on which most Americans disagree with him. And so what we're hearing is that they're trying to push that $1,200 stimulus check payment, as I mentioned in my last video, but he's saying that he is not going to allow it. He is going to contest it because he thinks that we should not be increasing the deficit at this time. $600 is what seems to be prevailing at this time for stimulus checks. Now, continuing on, it reads, despite the delays, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have emphasized that they're committed to getting more stimulus done, even if it means staying in session longer. There are, of course, no guarantees they will wrap up discussions by Sunday. At this point, it's been 9 months since lawmakers passed their last major relief package. 9 months in which millions of people have been laid off and tens of thousands of businesses have grappled with closing. Now, in addition to that, we've also received word that they could be potentially adjusting the eligibility requirements for the $300 per week boost, changing it to match the LWA, which was you had to be collecting at least $100 per week from your UI, PUA, or PEUC in order to get that boost on top of your benefits. There is discussion right now about changing it to that requirement. Now, if that unfolds, I'll be sure to let you guys know. They're also suggesting no double dipping. In other words, if you're unemployed, you cannot get that boost and a stimulus check at the same time. Now, that is currently still up in the air as well. Initially, we heard that was getting squashed, but now we're hearing that it's coming back up again. And also, they're suggesting about changing the eligibility requirement for the stimulus checks, saying that they want the overall price tag to be smaller. So potentially, but originally it was you're going to have to make $75,000 a year or less to get a full stimulus check. They might be lowering that down maybe to 60, maybe 50. Who knows? We will see. And also, maybe the top line where it's you get a partial check from $75,000 to $99,000. Anything over $99,000, you're not eligible because they say you make too much money. Well, maybe they're going to lower that as well. It'll be if you make $80,000 or $75,000 or more, you're not eligible for a stimulus check. We'll see, but there currently are talks about changing eligibility requirements for both of those provisions. All right, and lastly, let's take a look at this article that came out from the Washington Post that pretty much sums up what happened today on Capitol Hill. And it says, Congress approves stopgap measure with hours before lapse in government funding. And it goes on and says, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said Friday evening that there were still some significant issues outstanding. So there are still some things they got to iron out before they're going to have an agreement on this. And it says, in the way of the pandemic relief deal. Hoyer added that the House lawmakers should not expect to vote earlier than Sunday at 1 p.m. The two-day funding measure passed the House by a 320 to 60 vote margin, with all of the no votes coming from Republican lawmakers and Representative Josh Amesh from Michigan. The measure passed the Senate unanimously. Senator Bernie Sanders temporarily held up the vote and on the Senate floor urged lawmakers to approve another round of stimulus payments, but quickly withdrew his objection after a short speech. So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It looks like this is going to be dragging out to the weekend. Do you believe that they're going to get it done this weekend by Sunday, or do you think this is going to continue on into next week? Let me know your thoughts. Whatever unfolds, though, I'll be sure to let you guys know. I'll keep you up to date here on the channel with everything that's taking place. And once again, if you like and appreciate these updates, be sure to smash the like button. It helps out the channel. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also, if you're not already part of the viewing community and you would like to stay up to date on everything that's rolling out, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload these videos. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Have a blessed night. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.